Thank you for watching Safe Haven Radio. Today, we're going to explore the neuroscience of morning wake-up struggles and discover evidence-based methods to transform your mornings. Many of you may have similar experiences. That crushing weight of morning where every alarm becomes your enemy and getting out of bed feels like climbing Mount Everest. I want you to know that these struggles aren't about willpower or laziness, but about specific brain patterns that can be understood and reprogrammed. Let's explore this topic together today, at your own pace. What we'll discuss isn't a replacement for professional support if you're experiencing severe sleep disorders or depression, but rather scientifically backed insights that may help you understand and improve your morning experience. Take your time with this information, and remember that small changes can lead to meaningful improvements. Current research from a leading research institution in the Netherlands has revealed fascinating insights about how our brains transition from sleep to wakefulness. In a groundbreaking 2025 study, researchers analyzed over 1,000 awakening episodes using advanced brain imaging with 256 sensors placed on participants' scalps. They discovered that our brains follow specific activation patterns during the transition from sleep to wakefulness, and understanding these patterns can help us work with our biology rather than against it. The research showed that when we wake from REM sleep, the stage where we dream most vividly, neural awakening signatures spread from the front of our brain to the back in a wave-like pattern. However, when waking from non-REM deep sleep, the pattern is different. It starts at a central hotspot deep in the brain, likely in areas controlling basic arousal, before following that same front-to-back progression. This means that depending on which sleep stage you're waking from, your brain needs different amounts of time and stimulation to become fully alert. What's particularly important to understand is sleep inertia, that grogginess and mental fog we feel upon waking. Research has demonstrated that this isn't just feeling tired, it involves measurable cognitive performance decrements that can last anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 full hours. During this time, your reaction time is slower, your short-term memory is impaired, and your ability to think, reason, and learn is significantly reduced. A comprehensive 2024 meta-analysis examining 29 randomized controlled trials with nearly 10,000 participants found that targeted interventions can produce moderate to large improvements in overcoming this sleep inertia. Additionally, research has identified that approximately 3% of the global population experiences circadian rhythm sleep-wake disorders, which significantly impact morning wake-up ability. One common form is delayed sleep-wake phase disorder, where individuals have chronic difficulty falling asleep before 2 to 6 a.m. and consequently struggle tremendously with morning wake times. Interestingly, genetic research has found that a variation in the CRY1 gene, present in about 0.6% of the population, can contribute to these difficulties by lengthening the natural circadian period. Environmental factors play an equally crucial role. Multiple research institutions have confirmed that insufficient morning light exposure combined with excessive evening light exposure significantly contributes to morning wake-up problems. Our modern lifestyle, with its abundance of artificial lighting and screen time, disrupts our natural circadian rhythms in ways our ancestors never experienced. Now, let's explore practical, scientifically backed methods you can implement to improve your morning wake-up experience. These approaches have been validated through extensive research and are designed to work with your brain's natural processes. The first and most powerful intervention is bright light therapy. Within 5 minutes of your wake time, expose your eyes to bright light, either direct sunlight or a 10,000 lux light therapy lamp. Position yourself facing east during sunrise if possible, or place a medical-grade light therapy lamp 16 to 24 inches from your face. Use this for 20 to 30 minutes while having breakfast or doing morning activities. Research consistently shows this is the single most effective intervention for resetting circadian rhythms and reducing morning grogginess. The light signals to your brain's master clock that it's time to be alert, triggering cascades of hormonal changes that promote wakefulness. The second method involves implementing sleep restriction with a fixed wake time. This might sound counterintuitive, but it's one of the most effective evidence-based approaches. Choose a wake time you can maintain every single day, including weekends. Consistency is absolutely crucial here. Initially, restrict your time in bed to only slightly more than the amount you actually sleep. For example, if you typically sleep 6 hours but spend 8 hours in bed tossing and turning, limit your bedtime to 6.5 hours initially. Once you achieve 85% sleep efficiency, meaning you're asleep for 85% of the time you're in bed, gradually increase by 15 minutes per week. This technique showed the strongest effect size in clinical studies for improving both sleep quality and morning alertness. Temperature manipulation is another powerful tool. Program your bedroom temperature to rise by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius starting 30 minutes before your wake time. This mimics the natural temperature rise that should occur with sunrise. Upon waking, immediately expose yourself to cool air, open a window or step outside for 2 to 3 minutes, then take a warm shower. This temperature contrast accelerates your natural cortisol awakening response, and research shows it can reduce sleep inertia duration by up to 40%. Your body uses temperature as a powerful circadian cue, and manipulating it strategically can significantly ease the transition to wakefulness. The fourth technique involves cognitive activation. Within 2 minutes of waking, engage in a specific cognitive task that requires moderate mental effort. Try counting backwards from 100 by sevens, naming countries alphabetically, or solving simple math problems on your phone. This might feel difficult at first, but research shows it accelerates prefrontal cortex activation, the brain region most affected by sleep inertia and responsible for executive function, decision-making, and alertness. For physical activation, implement a gradual movement protocol. Before getting out of bed, spend 30 seconds doing gentle limb movements, ankle pumps, wrist circles, stretching your arms overhead. Then sit up and take 10 deep breaths while raising your arms. When you stand, immediately do 20 light jumping jacks or march in place for 1 minute. This gradual physical activation helps transition your autonomic nervous system from parasympathetic dominance, which promotes rest, to sympathetic activation, which promotes alertness and readiness for activity. Equally important is evening light management, which sets the stage for easier morning wake-ups. Starting 3 hours before your intended bedtime, eliminate all blue light exposure. Use amber glasses or screen filters if you must use devices, and dim all lights to less than 40 lux, about the brightness of a dim hallway. This enhances your natural melatonin production and advances your circadian phase, making morning awakening significantly easier within 5 to 7 days of consistent application. Remember, good mornings actually begin the night before. It's important to approach these methods within comfortable limits and understand that change takes time. Don't blame yourself if you can't implement everything immediately or if you have setbacks. Small changes really do represent important progress. If you find your sleep problems are severely impacting your daily life, or if you suspect you might have a sleep disorder, please consult with a healthcare professional who can provide personalized assessment and treatment. To summarize what we discussed today, here are the key points to remember. First, brain awakening follows specific front-to-back activation patterns that we can work with rather than against. Second, sleep inertia affects cognition for up to 2 hours, so be patient with yourself during this transition period. Third, light exposure within 5 minutes of waking transforms morning alertness by signaling your brain's master clock. Fourth, maintaining fixed wake times helps reprogram your circadian rhythm for easier mornings. Fifth, strategic temperature changes accelerate your cortisol awakening response, naturally promoting wakefulness. And sixth, cognitive tasks jumpstart prefrontal cortex morning activation, helping you think more clearly faster. Remember, these aren't overnight solutions but rather evidence-based practices that build effectiveness over time. Start with what feels manageable, perhaps just the bright light exposure or the fixed wake time, and gradually add other techniques as they become habits. Your morning struggles are not character flaws but neurobiological patterns that can be systematically improved using these scientific approaches. Change takes time, and that's perfectly okay. Your value doesn't depend on being a morning person or having perfect sleep. What matters is that you're taking steps, however small, toward feeling better. You have the power to transform your mornings from battles into more peaceful transitions. Tomorrow morning represents a new opportunity, one where you can begin implementing these gentle, science-based approaches to wake with greater ease and clarity. If today's content provided any support or insights, please hit the like button to help others find this information. Subscribe to Safe Haven Radio to continue learning about mental health and well-being together. May your mornings become a little easier and your days a little brighter. Thank you for listening to Safe Haven Radio, and remember, you're not alone in this journey toward better mornings and better health.